Check out the shad guys are all stuck in the slime trying to spawn. They're not strong enough to get out of it. Somebody's fishing line. Look at all this fishing line. Jeez Louise. Yeah, the fish, they're all up and down here. Spawning. Look at them. They're all freaking out. I think I got all the fish out of there. I'll have to come back and get that fishing line. Man, that's like a 100-pound line. But look at all the shad spawning. It's just going crazy. So I'm throwing a little cotton cordell crazy shad up shallow because it skitters. And we'll see how that works out. But man, I'm so curious about how these fish are spawning. Saved a couple. See, like a stick like that, they'll all bang up against her and spawn against it. Here's a little CC shad. This thing just and it's perfect for this. Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. Boy, the shad spawn is in full effect. They're going bananas. Let's see if we can whack a few. It's gonna make it hard to catch fish because there's so much bait in the water. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. And you can smell the shad spawn. They smell like watermelon. And the air is heavy with that. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate all the support. My name's Alan, and I'm usually making some kind of a fishing video. Look at them. They're just freaking out. Yeah, the channel's growing, guys. Thanks for all the support. Throwing this on the Victory. It's like my all-purpose rod. 6/8. Got this on braid to fluoro. Actually, braid to mono for the top water. For mono, I always use trilene. I may switch to a bomber shallow way and run that sucker through there. But I've caught them before flittering this around. pretty much any square bill you run through here will be good too. So we'll give this a shot for a little bit, and then, man, I thought last weekend with the full moon was gonna be it, the shad spawn, but it's still going. Check out over here, see them all working along the shore. It's super shallow here, only like maybe 6 inches. Boy, there's some big rains last night too, so the water's a little murky. Check them out. Boy, they're just going crazy. That usually means when they flare up like that a bass or something, or gar, a lot of gar in here, chase them up and out. All right, boys, we're hooked up on the Fritz side 5. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, check that out. It's one of these hybrids. All right, calm down. There we go. Self-release. When they're thrashing around like that with the trebles, whew, check that out, guys. Just bang. With all the crazy shad activity, these guys are hunting. There it is. He just hammered it. So a couple weeks straight now, these guys have just been super active. So I'm throwing this on the 6.8 mags. Just crank, and then I kill it, just let it sit there. It suspends with that little weight system. Then I crank. See the shad flickering right there? Just a little pause. And see how that just sits there? Man, it's just almost irresistible. And there's some big hybrids in here. All right, guys, we're hooked up again. This one's on a Fritz side 7. Well, he just clocked it. It's another one of these little dudes. I looked in his mouth, I didn't see anything in there. But there it is, that's what we're getting. This one looks like a little sand bass right here. That's what we're throwing. Man, I just kill it and they just hammer it. Fritz side 7 gets a little bit deeper. You can hear the big gar flopping out there. What we need is a nice big bass. Largemouth. All right, guys, the sun is, it looks bright, but the sun's only been up for a little bit. I switched over to a bomber suspending fat-free shad. There we go. Look at that color on there. It's like a chartreuse. But I love throwing these fat-free shads because they get down there so good to just do a sweep. And this one's a suspending model, so I just kill it there. Golly, you can still see just the waves of shad going through here. Well, I was throwing those fritz sides for a good stretch. They are fun to fish with. If you never tried them before, you got to give them a shot. Look at that thing. I'm telling you guys, people don't talk much about bombers anymore, but man, they catch fish and they're so inexpensive. Jason Christie will throw them from time to time, and a couple other guys, and all the models work really well. It's not just specific ones. Go check them out at LureNet. There's different places that sell them, and they're only like $3.99, $4.99. They cast a country mile. They're durable. They were the bait that everybody was trying to knock off for about 25 years. But the shad are just still cruising through here. Look what I'm using. A little wreck shad right here. This one's got a little willow on the back of it. It's got a nice color to it. It's like a flat black with some chartreuse and blue. I catch them on them. Man, these mayflies hatch too, so there's like mayflies all over the place. You can still see the waves of shad going through. They're just everywhere. So as I'm cranking this thing through, I get these pops on it, and when I bring it in, I'll have a shad on the end of it, a little bitty one, or I'll get those white bass, sand bass will just thump it. But don't let the one hook only fool you. It works just fine. I catch a ton of fish on this. Look at that. We're not matching the hatch. I'm just running it through just to run it through. Because sometimes you run something in there that doesn't look like anything here. Man, I got these stinking mayflies down the back of my hoodie here. If I walk in the grass behind me, you'll see all the mayflies pop up. I'll do that. I'm used to the mayflies up in Iowa, Wisconsin in June. Yeah, the shad are just everywhere in here. Here, let me show you these mayflies. There's thick as fleas in here. Well, as soon as I mention it, there's none to be seen. Oh, there they are. They're just all in here. You can see them. I got a mosquito now. They're just all over the place in here. There you can see them flying. Here's one on my, see him right there? Look at this shad just freaking out here. It's only about 4 inches of water. If you've never been on the end of a shad spawn, man, it is a sight to see. Coors, who's drinking Coors? I'll have to come back and get that. Here's some more mayflies zipping around. All right, guys, down there, you can't really tell, but in the trees, man, the birds are going crazy for these mayflies. They're just dive bombing in and out of there. That's pretty cool. All right, boys, we're hooked up on this little Phoebe. During this shad run, you can see the shad all down there. Let's see what we got. Ooh, nice. It's one of these hybrids right here. Easy, easy. Here he is right there. Back you go. Here it is right here. It's just kind of in a blue and silver pattern. Throwing this on the 6/8 nags. Just slowly running it through. It's got excellent flash. See, like right there, you got bass hitting in there. There's gar in here, drum. Look at the action on that. Look at the shad come up and scope it out when it lands in there. Sheesh. Yeah, he got me pretty good 2 spots. One from the dorsal and one from his gill plate there. Anyway, so what I was saying is I just slowly cranked this in. Ooh, there we go. I had a hit. It didn't stick. So if you're ever doing any spoon fishing, or if you've never done any spoon fishing, you gotta try it. It is so much fun. Look at that thing flutter. So on a day like today, I like to try to use gold when it's cloudy, but when you have intermittent, boy, this silver and blue can really work. And this thing flutters so much, I just give it some cranks and then I kill it. Give it some cranks and then kill it. Sometimes I'll do like pop, 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 but let it do the work for you. If you spoon fish all the time, then you know how it all goes down. Look at that thing. That's such a cool little lure right there. Right here in close, guys, on a Tom Mansour little jig right here. But these guys have been active in here hunting for... They've been in here looking for all kinds of different shad, and there's a bunch of other little minnows in there. It's not too bad. We'll get him back in there. That's it right here. Just this little swim jig. Not very big. Tom Mansour special. I put a 3-inch Charlie Brewer Slider Company grub on the back of that thing. And so it's working pretty good. If you never use those Charlie Brewer grubs, you use them. They work out pretty well. But man, that guy's just, I killed it and bang, he got it. Just popped it right there. Still waiting for my first big largemouth to come in and crush one of these. But if you've never thrown these Charlie Brewer 3-inch grubs as a trailer. You gotta try it. It's on a Tom Mansour swim jig right here. Check that out right there. Chartreuse color on that thing. There was rain, so the water's a little cloudy. So that's why I'm picking that color. Just bring it in real slow. Give it a couple of twitches. Slow, give it a couple of twitches. Real slow, give it a couple of twitches. Real slow, give it a couple of twitches. And that's it. Alright guys, we switched spots. I'm going to run the rocks here. I've got some big bass here before. I'm going to throw a little swim jig. Little Tom Mansour swim jig and like a white chartreuse. The other thing, we got gar spawning in here. They're like porpoising along each other. But we'll see if we can coax something to hit this. Looks like the sun's starting to want to come out. Man, there were some crazy storms last night. So I've got this one on the 6.8 Icon. Sunline braid to fluoro, 12 to 12. We'll see how it goes. There we go, boys. On the swim jig. Just a little bitty white bass here, but check out that jig on the Tom Mansour. I'd say a little sand bass just hunting in there. All right, for the release, let's get him in there. Check that out, guys. On the back side of the dam, there's a road up there. But I just wanted to let you know I'm heading out for the day. I had a lot of fun fishing. There's some storms rolling in, so I got to skedaddle. But man, it was a good time out there. Interesting to see the shad doing what the shad were doing. That was crazy. Anyway, until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Now get out there and get your lures wet.